Hello everyone, welcome back to Newcastle Fans TV. Bloody hell, do we have some news to catch up on the past 24 hours or so. Let's get cracking then. So, hello everyone, hope you're doing all well as we build up to the weekend. A massive game for Newcastle, of course. The Champions League is up for grabs. More on that a little bit later with the TV fixtures. But, some negativity to start off with. Kieran Trippier has allegedly had a strip clubber's bill put under his tab. For your eyes only, which of course, if many people, if you don't know, if you're not from Newcastle, is a adults entertainment, do you want to call it that, in the city centre in the early hours, where you can have lap dances, etc, etc. But he's allegedly had a bill put in his name, and this is according to The Sun. Now, granted, I think it's The Sun first of all, but also I think you've also got to look at the scale of the story that it was allegedly friends of Kieran Trippier who they play for Gateshead FC and they put it under Trips' bill. Something doesn't add up. Allegedly, Kieran Trippier wasn't there, but it was put under his name for 9,500, approaching 10 grand in one night. Gateshead players, I don't think they have that kind of money to spend in one night, put it that way. But look, he's a single lad. He's split up, obviously, as it's been well documented, from his other half. He still sees the kids on a regular basis, which is good to see. Look, he's a single lad. He's probably been single for a short amount of time. Well, he has. But he's been with someone for quite a long period of time as well. But look, there's been a couple of photos of him this season out and about in a few bars and stuff. And look, he's still young. He's still, 33, 34. So he's still relatively young, you know. He wants to go out and enjoy himself. Maybe he hasn't had that opportunity. But I didn't know. But the story with it, look, I don't think it's been picked up massively by the media for a reason. I just think, look, it's one of them, innit? Look, was he there, was he not? Look, I'm not going to say whether he was. But judging by this story doesn't quite add up because you've got to put a payment down. And yes, let's just say that if it goes under someone's name, someone has to be present. Otherwise, it's fraud, basically. Whether his pals are doing it for a laugh. But anyways, there you go. That's the story of Kieran Trippier. On to more happier times with two videos, which I definitely recommend you go and watch after this. You must have seen Bruno's tears. Oh, it's mint, man. Absolutely love Bruno Guimaraes. He's an absolute treasure of ours. The first captain in 56 years. Don't let the media or the fans tell you it's 70. It's 56 years. For the last person since Bobby Moncur lifted the trophy, because they all say 70 because it's domestic. If you want to say domestic, you can say that about Spurs. The same thing. But anyway, you have to see this video in the Premier League, man. It's class. It's just brilliant, man. It's just class. He's in tears. His family have been documented by the Premier League productions, and they've gone out and filmed him about his childhood and what they mean to him, and he's just in absolute tears. It's a wonderful thing because it makes him humble from where he's starting off from. The sacrifices his ma has to make, his dad, which we're seeing away days all the time, his pals as well. He's mentioned that he's got a close circle of friendship, but he loves it. He cares for them all, and of course, to talk about the two kids as well. It's just a lovely, lovely video. Go and watch it on the Premier League. It's a good watch. It's fantastic, and obviously he's lifted the trophy, and he just gets it, doesn't he? He just totally gets what we're all about, and it's rare for that for a foreigner. There isn't many. You're probably looking at 1 in 30 foreign players love the area. You think of like Olivier Bernard staying in the area. Nobby Solana comes back every so often as well. So yeah, you can see why. And speaking of videos as well, obviously I did a mental health video last week where I opened up about 3 years ago the troubles that I was going through. And I got therapy, and that absolutely changed me thinking, changed me way of life, to be honest with you. And Dan Byrne, in an interview with Smithy's gone out and talk about, and this is on the Sky Sports channel, gone to talk about his past few months of like the highs of winning the cup and scoring the goal and getting man of the match, getting the England call up, but also like things like which you don't really hear about as much as like when he gets released, living on your own as a kid, as a youngster coming through as a footballer, how that impacts your mental health as well. So he talks about that. It's a good, fascinating, it's a different type of video, but it's another fascinating watch, and he talks about how much he eats a day because of his frame. He's admitted that he's got bigger because he's playing centre-back, just for the physicality. But he eats 5,000 calories a day. Bloomin' hell, I'm on a calorie deficit, which I don't want to go over 1,000. And there's Dan Burn munching on 5,000 a day. Absolute mental. But yeah, big frame, 6'7", so I is eating 5k calories, which is mental. Absolute crackers. But there you go. A good couple of videos, which I don't really mention on YouTube, but I thought they were great watch and fascinating to hear the stories as well, because I love that kind of psychology with players as well. Now, I want to get on to the TV fixtures, because I've known for a long time, Johnny can vouch for us for this, that I knew that Sky would be picking Liverpool for the last game of the season. I've known that for about 6 weeks now, because they want to be the ones that see Liverpool lift the trophy. Look, it is a dead rubber. That's what fans who can't go to games. I'm in a fortunate position where I haven't missed a Newcastle game home and away for over 3 years, so I've not seen us on TV since we got beat off Spurs 5-1, believe it or not. Johnny was down for us that day. That was the last game I missed. And TNT they get the last pick. Obviously, Sky went with Chelsea and Forest, which is obviously the big one, because it's a shootout. Win that, you're probably in the Champions League from one of those two. And TNT were left, but they're going to pick us versus Everton or Man United versus Villa, and they've gone with Man United versus Villa. So for people who unfortunately can't be at St James's Park, what I will say, there's other means you can watch it, put it that way. But look, the Jack Grealish situation for me, not for me. Not for me, even if he comes on loan. I think we're better than that now. Wages are through the roof, first of all, of Jack Grealish, and he's only got 3 goals and 4 assists this season. He's 29, I can't get my words out. He's 29 now. Where would he play if he come to Newcastle? He'd probably be playing on the left, which is Anthony Gordon's position. We'll come to Anthony Gordon in a moment as well, but not for me. Not for me. I think we're all right with Gordon and Barnes, a D. Barnes, yes, he's hit and miss, but Gordon's been off the boil a little bit recently. But over the course of a season, Jack Grealish just hasn't gone in that Man City side. And you've also got to consider that it's a struggling Man City side as well. Yes, they're going to probably get Champions League because they only need a point at the end of the last game of the season, but not for me. I'm not for it. Not for the wages, his age. It's not the right profile. It's not the right fit for Newcastle. Luke Edwards, who's gone on to say that Newcastle are not after the Nigerian striker Victor Boniface. Proper unit. I do like him. I did a video on him in December for Newcastle should target certain players, and he was one of them alongside Omar Marmoush. But he says that his name has been mentioned as a smokescreen effect, so that gets other people interested in him. He's had a bit of a injury hit season, just contributing to 11 goals in total in 27 games. That's just 1 over 2 games, which is still a good record. And would he come from Leverkusen at Newcastle, effectively knowing he's going to be second choice? I think he'll want to play more game time, so I personally can't see that. But speaking of strikers, Liam Delap, TalkSport have said that Newcastle are holding face-to-face discussion with his representatives. Look, I don't know if that's true or not, to be honest with you, but the Chronicle are then saying that the reps have had a few clubs that are listed who are the likes of Chelsea or Spurs, Man United. It's interesting that Man United losing the Europa League final last night, whether that's put a bit of a dent in their target for financial reasons, because obviously they're not going to have European money for next season, so that might change. But like, he scored 12 goals this season for struggling side. If it is 30 million, I think it's a bargain for 30 million for someone who, again, isn't going to be first choice. But if we're playing, I don't know, a Preston in the Carabao Cup, you'll get a long run in the cup games. And then the Champions League, remember, you've got 8 games as well. And Isaac looked a little bit off the boil the last few games. Is that because of too many games? And obviously he's picked up a bit of a knock. Will he play this weekend? You could then rotate, because I don't think Eddie Howe really wants to put Callum Wilson in. Even if Isaac's only 60-70%, I think he goes with Isaac. So Boniface will be an upgrade on Wilson. And I think Liam Delap will be as well. So Delap's probably the one that we can probably go and get more realistically. But would he choose second choice? Because I think he would play regularly at Chelsea, and I think he would at Spurs, and I think he would at Man United. But whether they can afford him or not, who knows? Who knows? Because Chelsea are selling everyone to themselves. I don't know how they're getting away with it. But anyway, let us know your thoughts on that as well. And then the last one is about Anthony Gordon potentially leaving back to Liverpool again. This old bollocks that comes round. It's not happening. It's lazy journalism. It really, really is. Yes, he's on a bad run of form. He's on a poor end of the season. He obviously got sent off when in the FA Cup, which made him lose his place in the Carabao Cup final. Thankfully, that didn't affect us because we won. But he had then got injured with England. Hasn't looked the same since coming back. But you wouldn't put it past him having an absolute worldie this weekend against his former side. But look, he's only just signed a new deal. What was it, 6 months ago? It's not happening, man. It's crap. It's lazy journalism, once again. And look, we're going to have to get used to it. And it's not something I want to cover on the channel loads. But those ones that I've mentioned, those 4 players, Grealish, Edwards, mentioning that were on after Boniface, Delap and Anthony Gordon. Nah, for me, I would have Delap out of those 3 that ain't coming. But Anthony Gordon's not going anywhere for me. Nah, it's not. But yeah, Kieran Trippier strip club. Let's recap. Obviously, he's allegedly paid, or he's had his name put down by his friends from Gateshead. Okay, we'll move on from that. Dan Burns' brilliant interview with Smithy on YouTube about his progress in his career and mental health. Bruno's fantastic interview. Surprise interview because he's absolutely in tears. His family mentioning about his childhood and so on. And of course, the players that I've mentioned there with the rumours, and of course, also the TV fixtures. But there's one last thing I want to go through, which is the free agent list. And I'm going to pull it up for you. Out of this list, I put this on social media. Out of this list, who would you take at Newcastle? I was very surprised at some of the answers. Of course, Kevin De Bruyne sticks to it like a sore thumb. But would you have anyone else? We know that Trent's gone to Real Madrid, so you cannot have him. Any of those for squad players? A lot of people saying Kyle Walker-Peters from Southampton, and I didn't get that. I didn't get that. If my target was to leave, potentially, because he can do a job at left back and right back, but it's a free agent. It's something that Newcastle could look at, but I'm not like, wow, we've signed Kyle Walker-Peters when you've already got Matt Target there. That's not going to happen, to be honest with you. But nah, not for me in that list. But there's any others that are in there, do let me know in the comments if you would take any of those from the free agents list. Me, Kevin De Bruyne, but I think his wages are going to be through the roof. Newcastle would have to blow that to get Kevin De Bruyne to come to Newcastle. But I think we're pretty stacked in centre midfield unless Sean Longstaff does leave because he's not getting any game time at the minute. But there's your roundup, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the video this morning. I've got a busy day, so yeah, I've got a few meetings today. It'll be my ugly face this weekend as well for the last game of the season. They're doing the last word live. Once again, we'll have a match reaction. We might have 2. Scoring the players. I'll be capturing the players going around the pitch, and of course I'll be doing a vlog on extra, so I've got a lot of work this weekend. But join me this weekend. I might do another video before the weekend though, just looking at the stipulations, the league table, obviously analysts as well. So there we go. If you can drop us a massive like on this video, that would be wonderful, and we'll see you in a day or 2.